Go.
Well, hello, Bill. Hey, thank you for coming back to this event. You know, I have so many people that contact me in my staffing company, and I ask them, well, what do you want to do? And they're like, I don't know. What should I do? Or you ask them and they just throw things up, and you know they haven't thought about it. You've been in that position, or you've met people in that position?
100%. It's huge. It's huge.
I know. It's crazy. So I put this little webinar together. It'll be real quick, but I hope it'll get you and other people in the same position that you're in on the right track. Make sense?
Boy, that's great. That's
All right,
great.
good. We're going to get in and out because I move fast. I'm from New
love it.
Jersey. I speak fast and loud. All right?
Uh-huh.
Real quickly, this is just the quickest way to wealth that I could figure out, and I've helped several people, and it's gratifying for everybody involved. Let me tell you a quick story. I got a boy. He's a good kid, but when he was little, I said this little joke, and it's an old kind of Northeastern Jewish joke, and I said it with this group of people, but my son was around, and the joke goes like, it's a little Henny Youngman joke. You know, this old Jewish guy gets hit by a car, and the paramedics rush up to him, and they say, you know, Mr. Rothman, are you comfortable? And he looks at him and he says, I make a good living. You know, so that was his whole thing, and it was a little joke, everybody laughed, but my son, who was about 12 at the time, didn't laugh, didn't quite get it. He comes up to me later, and he says, Daddy, what's a good living? You know, just a simple question, you know, what's a good living? And I'm thinking, you know, I don't know, I don't want to like just answer and like limit him of what he wants to do, and I don't know what to answer, you know, so I thought about it, it was just bothering me. And I came up with an answer, and if you stick around to the end of this 15 minutes, I'll tell you. Now, if you're listening to this on recording, don't rush ahead. But Bill, you remind me to tell you what the answer.
I'd love to hear it. Yeah.
But the reason why we didn't want to answer it, and why nobody wants to answer that question, is because then you have to ask the next question. Why am I not making a good living? Why am I not wealthy? What am I doing? And what am I doing that other people are, you know, that aren't doing? What should I do to get wealthy? You know, we're all kind of in the same thing. And then I started doing some research, and I found out this kills me. Only 3 to 5% of people that retire can retire on the money that they earn, that they worked for the last 40 years. Only 3 to 5% can retire in a style that you would hope for. Isn't that crazy? You want to kill yourself?
Oh, not fun.
You know what that means? That means that 97% of all Americans grind away for years and still don't achieve their goal of certain kind of wealth that they can do what they want to do. I mean, it's fine if you want to be a crossing guard. I love my crossing guard. I walk the dog every morning and I say hi to the crossing guard. I love this guy. He's a great guy. But if you have to do it, I mean, it's okay to want, but if you have to, I mean, is that how you want to spend the rest of your years? And that's what most people do. And it's because most people don't answer this question at the start. Why am I not wealthy? What do I need to do to get there? Now, these people did. These people are wealthy. I don't know. I guess that's Taylor Swift there. Andrew Carnegie, for crying out loud.
Wow.
These people asked a different question. And they're all from different areas. Some are businessmen. I actually did this before he was president with the Trump there, but he was just a businessman. But they asked the question, how do you get wealthy? And I figured out there's only 2 reasons. There's only 2 rules that they have to follow. The first rule is this: they work a lot. I mean, legally, you could say what you want about Trump and all that, but you can't say that guy didn't hammer towards the end of that election. Mm-hmm. I mean, these people work. I mean, Oprah, are you kidding me? This gal just, I mean, with no money. I mean, they had nothing, and she's just hammering away, working hours. As much as you think you can work, you know, multiply it by 10. That's what they do. And because of that, they get a lot of things from it. This, I don't know if you could hear this. I don't know if you can hear this video, this audio. I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear this?
No, I can't.
I guess not too bad. I mean, it's the most beautiful music that you've ever heard in your life. And, you know, and the reason why he did this, Johann Sebastian Bach, this guy, he created masterpieces that you can't imagine for,
Right.
he worked for I think it was something like 18 years. For 18 years straight, every week, he came up with a masterpiece that he would give these cantatas that he would give just in churches and stuff. I mean, just constant. So much, this is, you know, 400 years ago, and we're still talking about this guy. And he worked his brains out to do that. And you know why he did this? You know why he worked so much? Say why. I got to
He
have
loved it. He loved what he was doing.
You think he loved it. He did. It was, I mean, it was there from God. It was because he had loyalty to whatever he wanted to do. He had loyalty to himself. But the main thing was this, you didn't realize this. The guy had like 20 kids. I mean, without exaggeration, he had 20 children. He had to support 20 children. You think this stuff just came by God, that he was just infused with this music? The man had to work. He had to work. He wasn't loaded. He wasn't rich at the end of the day. He had to work. He had to support his family, just like you and just like everybody else out there. And because of that, he created stuff that we can talk about 400 years later. People, you know, they said, these NASA people, NASA, they said, you know, when they started doing this thing about we're going to, you know, find if there's other intelligent life out there. They made these little capsules of things, you know, digital things that they're going to send out that other people could figure out that we had intelligent life. And they said, what should we send? And one of the NASA people said that it was the greatest line. He said, I would send the complete works of Johann Sebastian Bach. But then again, that would be boasting. Imagine that's what hard work can do. It can get you to the pinnacle that you'll never be forgotten. That's why you want to get wealthy. You want to get wealthy so you can be remembered, leave something in your wake, for crying out loud. For yourself. It's all for yourself. It's for your family. I mean, how many people have gone on real vacations with their family and didn't worry about work? Didn't worry about it. You can only do that. People with money, people who are wealthy, can do a lot more good for the world, a lot more good for themselves, a lot more good for their children. Or not. Or not. And this is what happens when you sit around and just wait for things to happen. So you got to find the right path. Rule number 2, and this is where we're going to get to the meat of this thing. Elvis. You know, how many singers will come and go, and Elvis will still be there? My daughter a couple of years ago was Elvis for Halloween. I mean, he died 30 years ago. She was Elvis for Halloween. The guy will never die. Rule number 2, all these people and all of you listening to this who want success and want real wealth, you have to do rule number 2 as well. They all embraced the fact that they're salespeople. They're selling their services to the marketplace. They're marketing themselves out there. I mean, every time this computer, Bill Gates is earning money right now because he went out and he sold this idea of this personal computer thing. They all embrace sales. So too must you. This is what people think of a salesperson. This is what my mother thinks a salesperson is. You know who this guy, this is from WKRP in Cincinnati. Remember this?
Yeah.
This is why people won't embrace it. This is why people won't do it, because they're afraid that they're going to be perceived like someone like this. Well, these people aren't perceived like someone like that. And it's crazy the amount of things you can. This is a salesperson. Can you imagine, George? Can you imagine this? You're actually selling the idea that that something is worth you risking your life. You will probably die if you do what I'm asking you to do. And people did it. That's power. And all those, the sad thing is the people that perished, while they're remembered by their friends and family and things like that, everybody knows this guy. Everybody knows Patton. because he was the best salesman out there. It brings you riches. It really does. And it's available in all areas. This is my dad. I always put him in every presentation. He died about a year and a half ago. Maybe, yeah, a year and a half ago. And he used to say this to me. When I graduated high school, he said, Danny, what are you going to do? He had a little accent. And I said, I'm going to get a job, and we'll do all that. He says, okay, but remember this. He says, you have a job, you have one boss, one customer, and he's called the boss. And if he gets a wild hair up his rear end, decides to fire you one day, you got nothing. But he said, Danny, if you consider yourself a salesman and you get customers, well, then you have 100 bosses, but they're called customers.
Boy, that's great.
And if one of them fires you, who cares? You got 99 more. You see, security doesn't come with getting a job. Security comes with the ability to be able to sell, the ability to be able to get customers. Security comes with the ability to earn it. It's this skill of sales that those people have over there. This skill of sales, it's the golden egg. It's the goose. It's not just the golden egg. It's the goose. Your results, your success is the golden egg. The goose is you learning how to utilize skills to offer services that other people buy. Remember, people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. And the skill with that can earn you anything in the most menial jobs that you can imagine. And these are skills that you had when you were a kid. Look at this girl. You think she's not a salesman? What do you think her closing ratio is? It's 100%. You have all these skills. You just got to get them out again. It was your first job. Bill, I'm telling you, even for you, did you ever have a lemonade stand?
I had several, yes.
Of course you did. Of course you did. Everybody did. It was your first job, and what you did, and people bought from you, not because you had the best lemonade in town. It's because you put yourself in a position that you can make your customer feel good by doing business with you. I bet people bought lemonade from you that weren't even thirsty.
You got it. Well, yeah, I didn't look at it as a job. Job is just over broke.
That's right.
I looked at
right. You were looking at it.
Loved it. Let's go.
An opportunity to get customers. And that's what you were trying to do. And that's what everybody needs to do. Don't look at your job search or your job improvement search or anything like that as getting another job. You're looking to find another customer. And I'm telling you, all sales jobs can make you wealthy. All of them. I got a guy who's a landscaper. He's a landscaper. He was cutting grass. That's what he did. And he got another customer, another customer. I got a landscaping salesperson who's earning 90 grand a year in my business. 90 grand selling people, lawn service. Not even cutting the grass, just selling people lawn service. I got a painter that I got a job. He's earning $140,000. I know this is crazy money when you think about it. Doctors don't earn this. He's not a painter. He's a painting salesperson, and he earns a percentage of what everybody else do. This is, it's the epitome of passive income, earning money from other people working. A pest control operator, 125 grand a year as a pest control salesperson. Are you kidding me? And all these businesses are out there. These are people that I know. This isn't just hearing stuff in the wind. These are people that I know, people that I've gotten jobs. I have a guy that I coach. I have a little side coaching business, Brandon, and he just sent me a text. I wish I could look it up right now, but I could do it from memory. He goes, Deej, I just had my first $10,000 month because I used some cold calling scripts that I helped him out with or what have you. But he's doing internet sales, selling cars, 10 grand a month. The kid's 20 years old. 20 years old. Because he understands something. And when it comes down to, inside sales, people in the computer business or people selling software and things like that, it's stupid money. You can't imagine. I mean, I don't even want to say it because it sounds unbelievable that people can earn, $500,000 or $650,000. But if you find a product out there that has a large margin, a large profit margin in it, and you get into commission sales, there's literally no limit. And the fact is, everybody's in sales. They just don't know it. Make sense?
100%. Sure does.
That's where it comes from. It just comes from, and listen, it's not money for money's sake, because sometimes people think that's kind of dirty. It's money for all those things that I talked about earlier. And once you have the skills and you can embrace it, never again will you be ever looking for a job. It's total freedom. Can you feel that?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Nice.
It's total freedom. So let me say, there are many other things. So listen, if you don't do this, then you're subjected to, to getting jobs. And look at these people. It's truly not the only way to earn a good living. I understand that. You can get jobs, but with these things, think of all the schooling you have to go to get this. Here's the highest paying jobs. Anesthesiologists, they earn $246. It doesn't hurt. Surgeons, fancy specialist doctors, dentists, the worst is lawyers, for crying out loud. You can earn 103 or 33,000. These are averages. Some earn a lot more. Most earn a lot less. But these are the averages. You'd have to be a lawyer. Think of all the schooling, all the expense you have to do. You can get into the world of sales for literally no money. And it's your own business. It's not the only way. It's just the fastest way. It's the quickest way. In my view, it's the best way.
Dan, someone said
the best
years
thing
ago.
is when you take a job, when you take a sales position with any company, if it's a small base and then commission or whatever it is, you get better as you practice. So they're paying you to practice and get better at your craft.
Boy, that's great.
You have to pay money to go to school with the hopes that someone's going to see that as value and give you money for it. Here, they pay you to go to school and to better yourself. Listen, the job that you get is using you for your skills. You need to use them for whatever you can get from them. In this case, it's practice on how to become wealthy. But with the understanding that you work on yourself. This is one of my my mentors and gurus. This is my guy, Jim Rohn. He's as good as they get. He says, this changed my life. Work on your job and you'll make a living. Work on yourself and you'll earn a fortune. Mm-hmm. And that, Bill, is probably the best advice I can give anybody. What? You're not out there working for your company. You're out there working on yourself, using your company as income for you to better yourself and become wealthy. So how do you do this? Listen, it's up to you. And the challenge is people who have the courage to learn the most and serve the most will succeed the most and earn the most. That's the whole thing, and that's really what sales is. The people who serve the most earn the most. The reason why Walmart does so well is because they're serving a lot of people. And the best salespeople give themselves an opportunity to serve more people, and the more people you serve and help, the more you'll succeed and the more you earn. It's not that difficult.
That's great. Mm-hmm.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. It's the Wild West. We have an opportunity now. Say what you want to say about Trump. You can't say that the business environment is not exciting right now. We got 4 years of just excitement. It's not political. I don't care who you voted for. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying what it is. And I'm telling you, if you hit it hard now, if you act like my dad when he first came to this country, or any of these immigrants when they came to go, they did absolutely nothing. Nothing. I'm looking at my hands right now. That's all they had. They had their hands and their brain. And they decided, let me just go out there and get a customer. Let me get a customer. You know, growing up in my neighborhood, nobody had jobs. It was a kind of a Jewish neighborhood, and it was just in the 70s. Listen, you're going to get to middle management. That's about it. I mean, you're not going to move up in the corporate world. It's not going to happen. Okay, so all my neighbors had their own small business. The Zismans had an auto repair place. The Myers had a street cleaning business. The Zimmermans had a repair. I guess they were builders. There were a couple people in the textile business. Everybody had their own little place. My dad had a coffee shop. Everybody had little things because they couldn't do anything else. But they went out and got customers. So that kind of attitude made people wealthy and gave their children lives that they couldn't imagine. And everybody can do it. Everybody can do it. All right. So here you are. So what do I do now? You got to take action. You know, that's the challenge. Most people, they learn. Listen, it's time just to jump off the cliff, and you have to do it. Yeah. So what's the thing to do? And it's going to be very scary, and this is my action step that I'm asking you to do right now. Just contact me. Just contact me. That's all. Here I am. Dan Jourdan, just Google me, Dan Jourdan, the Sales Energizer, and just connect with me. Go to my website, get on my newsletter. It's a tip of the week. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. Hook up with the YouTube channel, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything you want to do. Just connect with me.
Fantastic.
And start your process. That's all. It's not that hard. Just connect with me, and we'll just keep this up. And with my business with Remedy Staffing, if you're looking for opportunities as far as work is concerned, just hook me up if you're in the Atlanta area. But just connect with me and start your brain. Let me shift your brain just a little bit in terms of no longer working for the job, but working for yourself, and no longer looking at your job as your boss as a boss, but as a customer.
Wow.
And your value will rise. Wow. And your opportunities.
Dan, I think one reason you've been so successful is what you do describes who you are, not what you do. You have such a passion. It's just fantastic.
Well, I appreciate that, and I hope it can translate to all of you listening to this right now. Hook up with me, connect with me, and I look forward to your future wild success.